Listen to me. Listen well. You have no enemies. No one does. There are no enemies. No one out there deserves to be hurt. No one at all.
Vinland Saga is an anime masterpiece. The story behind it, along with its characters and the message it portrays, are on another level and make you rethink just how good a story about Vikings in animated format can be. And Thorfinn as a main character goes through such amazing character growth that it without a doubt easily makes him one of the greatest anime protagonists of all time. But before all that, what's up guys, Storm back here with another video, and if you like the content you're seeing, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment. I mean, they're all free, so why not? If you want some channel merch, or if you want to see more from me, then all that will be linked down below. But with all that out of the way, why don't we just dive right on in. So to start things off, the story of Vinland Saga is peak. It starts out with Thors, the father of Thorfinn, running some hands and giving all types of fades to his enemies, and it just shows how powerful he actually is. Man is running through the enemy like they're nothing. So after he's done slashing away, Thors decides he's had enough of all the fighting and killing and decides to end it all, not the KYS way, but by running away and building his family while starting a new life. Then we cut to a number of years later, and Thors is just chilling as a normal dad with his wife, daughter, and his young son Thorfinn. Then after some fuck shit that happens that involves a slave and someone from his past named Floki, we find out that Floki hired someone named Askeladd to kill Thors. And Askeladd is just something else entirely. He's only a character in the prologue of the story, but he's such a goated villain that he's easily one of the best villains in all of anime. So Thors goes off on a ship with some men from his village and Thorfinn sneaks on board, but that's when they get ambushed by Askeladd and his crew. But Thors, being the absolute unit he is, takes on all of them without killing any of them, but the man gets riddled with arrows, and as he's dying we're reminded of the ultimate anime speech he gave, that he told Thorfinn that he has no enemies and that everyone deserves a chance to live, hence the reason why he doesn't kill anyone. But that's also why he's so powerful, because he's become a true warrior, and throughout the series that's the narrative it's pushing. And then there's that scene where a dying father is holding his son, and even Askeladd acknowledges Thors. So after Thors dies, Askeladd and his men go off, but lo and behold, Thorfinn is following them. His heart is filled with rage and he wants revenge on the man who killed his father. So for about the next 11 years, Thorfinn followed Askeladd trying to kill him, also kind of joining his crew, but not really. So during this, he learned the horrors of war, and as a young child, he killed his first man. This changed something in him, and he got used to war, violence, and all the death. There were times where he realized that he might be doing the wrong thing, but he pushed it to the back of his mind, as all he wanted was to fight and kill Askeladd for killing his father Thors. Askeladd utilized this and sent Thorfinn out into battle, and out on missions, with the reward being that he would fight Thorfinn if he succeeded. This drove Thorfinn, and he went on countless missions and grew stronger and stronger, and learned how to be a warrior. His primary weapons being 2 knives or daggers, one that he had gotten from his father. All the while, Askeladd gets caught up in some political drama with the King of the Danes, since he's technically on their side invading England. But Askeladd learns that his home country of Wales is going to be taken over if the Danes succeed, and he does not want to let that happen. And this is where the villain of Askeladd truly shines. You learn his tragic backstory of his slave mother and his father who is a Viking, and you find out why he does what he does. It's revealed who his ancestor is, and he uses that to further what he's doing. At the same time, Canute, the second son of the King of the Danes, gets involved. At the start, he's shy and doesn't really talk much, but over the course of the series, he grows a lot and eventually becomes a king. He goes from a timid, shy boy to a man who wants to change the world and create a heaven and utopia on earth, and he'll do anything to get there, even if that means going down the dark path of being a king and embracing the crown's curse like his father. I like Canute and Thorfinn's interactions, as they start out not really understanding one another, but over time come to respect each other, even if they do eventually end up in vastly different places. Also gotta talk about Thorkel, who is an absolute unit just like Thors. This man is probably the second strongest character in Vinland Saga, right behind Thors, and it shows. All he wants to do is fight, and that's what drives his character, and it's fun as hell to watch. One of the best fights in the anime is Thorfinn versus Thorkel, and it's cool to see Thorfinn getting stronger and fighting an absolute monster like Thorkel. The character of Thorkel is used to show Thorfinn's strength and the strength of other characters, and it just works so well. Also like his backstory with Thors and how no matter how old this man gets, he still wants to throw hands against everyone no matter who it is. But then all of these characters kind of come together in Wales when Askeladd is trying to save his country, or at least not get it involved with the war. He'll do whatever it takes, and he aims to make Canute the new king while helping oversee him. During this time, Thorkel is hunting Askeladd, who has Thorfinn and Canute with him along with his crew. A lot of people get murked, and by the end of the first season, pretty much all of Askeladd's crew is gone. Askeladd is able to make a truce with Thorkel about making Canute king, and that's when they come face to face with the King of the Danes. And this is where shit gets real, and Askeladd ends up murking the king and appears to go insane. He says that he's the rightful king of England as his ancestor is Lucius Artorius Castus, who is a Roman military commander, which technically means that Askeladd is the rightful heir to Britannia. But all of this is just a ruse so that Canute can become king, and after murking a bunch of enemies, Askeladd goes out like a badass. And with his final words, he tells Thorfinn not to focus on revenge. Meanwhile, Thorfinn is kinda losing it because he doesn't want Askeladd to die because he wants to kill him himself. But at the same time, there's the idea that even though he's the man who killed his father, he was also a father figure towards Thorfinn. But the story of Askeladd is truly amazing and he's just one of the greatest villains in all of anime. But then Canute becomes king and Thorfinn doesn't know what to do with his life, so he ends up being sold into slavery, which leads into season 2. But the crazy thing is that season 1 is just the prologue of the story, and to have such an incredible character in Askeladd and just the prologue is honestly godly. But then that leads into the true point of Vinland Saga, Thorfinn learning to become a true warrior and finding his purpose in life. Season 2 is much slower than Season 1, but that's just what makes it so good. Thorfinn is a slave in a farm owned by a man named Kettle along with another slave named Einar, and Thorfinn and Einar grow incredibly close to each other, practically becoming brothers. But what this season is all about is Thorfinn's progression as a character. He goes from a boy who thinks war and fighting is what every man should strive to do and look forward to a kid obsessed with revenge. He wanted to kill the man responsible for his father's death, and with this drive he goes into battle and learns the horrors of war. He kills countless people who each had loved ones, all because his own father was killed. He doesn't realize this at the time and just keeps on fighting. He's just angry at the world for everything that's happened. Thorfinn was only a child who would become a man through war, violence, and death. But after Askeladd dies and when Thorfinn becomes a slave, he loses all reason for living and doesn't have a purpose in life. But over the course of him being a slave on the farm with Einar, he grows so much. He's haunted by what he did on the battlefield and everyone he killed. He has nightmares every night about it, but eventually he manages to face his demons. In his demons, he finds Askeladd and it's sort of a reunion, and Askeladd tells him that he doesn't belong there. They're kind of being Valhalla. Askeladd pretty much says that Thorfinn is better than where they are, and with that, Thorfinn starts to progress. He still has his demons with him, but he's able to manage them better. That's when he begins to realize the words of his father, that he doesn't have any enemies, that no one does, and that everyone deserves a chance to live, and true warriors don't need a weapon to be strong. Thors was a true warrior, and with that knowledge, Thorfinn is on his way to becoming a true warrior. Of course, there's the other events happening, like Canute being king, and everything he's doing, along with the other characters on the farm, but the best and main aspect is Thorfinn's journey, and the idea of Vinland, that there is a land that's west and far beyond the ocean that's free from the likes of war and violence. It comes up every now and then in the series, and it's a staple that drives home one of the biggest themes about the anime as a whole, and I can't wait to see when Thorfinn and the other characters actually attempt to go there. Also, the visuals are stunning throughout the first season, but especially the second season, where everything just looks amazing. The music is godly as well, and just each and every moment the music just fits and feels right with whatever is happening. And the openings are some of the best anime has to offer, especially the very first one of the anime. But overall, Vinland Saga is a masterpiece of anime that's still ongoing, and everything about it is just amazing, from the story to the themes and the message, and especially the characters, along with everything else. And if you haven't seen it, then just go do yourself a favor and go watch it, and then read the manga after you finish the anime. I still haven't personally caught up with the manga, but I'll definitely be doing that once season 2 is over. But with that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know down below if you want to see more videos like this. And with that, I will see you all in the next one. Peace.